Good morning, students. Here in the last classes we had discussed about the asexual reproduction. Okay, in that asexual reproduction we had discussed all the methods. Okay, so all that methods are regarded with the animals, not with the plants. That is binary fission, multiple fission, sporulation, conidia, zoospore, gemule formation or fragmentation, all that are taking place in animals, not in the plants. But that asexual reproduction which is taking place in plants, that asexual reproduction we can also call it as the vegetative propagation. Yeah, asexual reproduction in plants is also known as, or it is termed as, vegetative propagation. Here, the vegetative propagation means that is the asexual reproduction in plants. See, here in plants they have given vegetative propagation. The units of vegetative propagation, here you see the units of vegetative propagation are known as the vegetative propagules. What it is known as? See, in the plants, asexual reproduction is going to take place by some means, okay, by some units or by some structures, and that units or that structures are known as the vegetative propagules. Okay, such as there will be stem, leaf, root, or some structures will be there. That structures are responsible for what? Asexual reproduction, and that structures we can call it as the units, and that units are known as the vegetative propagules. Okay, so some of the names I will write here of that vegetative propagule, such as runner, rhizome, buds, offset, tuber, etc. So these are some units or the bed for the asexual reproduction. Okay, so these units has the capability. So this unit has the capability of producing the young ones. See, first of all, asexual reproduction means there is no involvement of any other parent. An individual parent body is going to form a offspring. How here in the plants, how they are going to form the offspring means by this vegetative propagules. These vegetative propagules have the ability to produce the offspring. To them we are calling it as the vegetative propagules. Okay, so since this formation of the structures or these units does not involve the two parents, okay, here we are talking about the asexual reproduction. So this process, these units, how they are forming the new young ones or the offspring means that is by through these structures. See, you must have seen scourge of water bodies. What do you mean by the scourge of water bodies? See, one example is there, which is known as the Terror of Bengal. This question compulsory will ask you for 2 marks. Further, we will see what do you mean by runner, rhizome, buds, offset, tuber and all. Before that, we will see about one plant, okay, that will undergo into the vegetative reproduction, sorry, propagation. You see here, scourge of plants. Scourge of water bodies. Okay. What is that scourge? Means damaging the water bodies or destroying the water bodies. That means the scourge of water bodies. Okay. Or about terror of Bengal. Terror of Bengal. So this question will be asked for 2 marks. What is that? Scourge of water bodies or terror of Bengal. So see here, this is nothing about one of the aquatic plant. What it is means, terror of Bengal, it is a name of a plant. Okay. So what is that name of that plant means, it is the water hyacinth. What it is? It is known as the water hyacinth. This is the name of plant which is also known as the scourge of water bodies or terror of Bengal. Here, water hyacinth, it is one of the invasive aquatic plant. What it is? It is one of the invasive aquatic plants. Means which grows in the water. So here, which is one of the most invasive weed found growing wherever there is a stagnant water or the standing waters. Where does they grow? They grow wherever there is an standing water, such as ponds, lakes, rivers, okay, standing water. In there, you will find some invasive weeds. What it is named as? That is named as the water hyacinth. So what it will do? Why we are telling that water hyacinth is going to damage the water bodies? Because it is going to drain the oxygen from the water bodies. Okay, if oxygen is drained or absorbed by the water hyacinth, this plant will serve, that fishes or the aquatic animals will not get the sufficient oxygen, due to which they will start to die. Okay, see here, it grows wherever there is a standing water. Next point about this water hyacinth, it drains oxygen from water bodies, due to which aquatic animals start to die. Aquatic animals will die. Okay, if there is no oxygen, they cannot survive. Only hydrogen will be there in the water. Oxygen will be reduced, means this water hyacinth is going to pollute the water. In the sense, they are going to absorb all the oxygen. So here, which leads to the death of the aquatic animals. Now next, you will study further in the further chapters about this water hyacinth. So it is interesting that this plant was first introduced to India from the American river, that is the Basin River. Okay, it was first introduced to India from the America. Okay, for what purpose it has been introduced over here means for their beautiful flowers and leaves. Okay, for what purpose they had introduced here? For their beautiful leaves. Introduced to India for their beautiful leaves and flowers. After introduction into the Indian rivers or Indian water bodies, it becomes one of the problematic plant. Why? Means it can propagate vegetatively, means asexually. There is no requirement of any other parent. This plant is undergoing into the asexual reproduction. Here, water hyacinth, it reproduce by vegetative propagation. And it is undergoing into the vegetative reproduction so that it will start to spread in a very rapid way all over the water body in a very short period. Okay, for example, this is the water body and this is the water plant, that is the water hyacinth. Okay, if one or two leaves are there, it will start to reproduce so much rapidly within a short period of time. It will cover or it will grow very rapidly, multiply very soon in a very short period of time. Okay, in this way, it's covering totally to the water bodies, due to which it is causing, it has become one of the most invasive, or it is become very difficult to get rid of them. Okay, spreading so much fastly. So if someone wants to clean that water, means it will take too much time to remove all that weeds. Okay, so here what is that? Here in the water hyacinth, what is that particular vegetative propagule means? That is through the stem. It is going to propagate very rapidly. Further, we will see what is that particular vegetative propagule over here. So this is sometime how the question will be asked is water hyacinth. Why the water hyacinth is called as terror of Bengal? Okay, like this question will be asked. Otherwise, what do you mean by water hyacinth? Why water hyacinth is known as the invasive aquatic plant? Compulsory, many times they had asked for 2 marks this question. Okay, so further we will see. Next up, see some of the plants like potato, sugarcane, banana, ginger. Here there are some plants like potato, ginger, then banana, then potato, ginger, banana, then sugarcane, dahlia, and dahlia. So all these plants, how they are going to reproduce? Whether there is some flowers are going to grow, whether there is a sexual reproduction is going to take place? No. These all plants will undergo into a process of vegetative propagation. So we will see here one by one. First we will see about the sweet potato. We will take one example, sweet potato. We are familiar with the sweet potato. Along with sweet potato, one more plant is there, that is the asparagus. Okay, within these two plants, how the vegetative propagation is going to take place. I will tell you, in these two plants, the vegetative propagation takes place by roots. How? That is by the roots. Here, see, sweet potato, asparagus, these are the modified roots. This is the sweet potato. What are these? This is the sweet potato. Okay. So this sweet potato, it is one of the modified root. How they are undergoing into the reproduction means that is by the vegetative propagation. Here, these roots are modified for storage of food. Modified for storage of food. How they are undergoing into the reproduction means which bears the adventitious buds. Some of the buds will be there. For example, this is a root which is the sweet potato. Here there will be some adventitious roots like this. What it is? These are the adventitious roots. So these adventitious roots on maturity of the sweet potato, it will get detached from the main body. Means they are going to cut off from there on at which time means when it becomes mature. Okay, this one small root which is known as the adventitious root, this will fall down and it is going to rise a new plant. Yes, sir. Same thing is taking place in the asparagus. Asparagus as well as one more example, that is the dahlia. These are the examples where the vegetative propagation will take place by the roots. Okay, and here that adventitious roots or that adventitious buds which will get detached from the main root and it will form a new parent body that is known as the slips. What it is known as? It is known as the slips. This is very important. How the question will be asked means for 1 marks they will ask from this vegetative propagules. Okay, what is the vegetative propagule of sweet potato or asparagus or dahlia? At that time, you have to write the slips. Okay, slips are the adventitious buds. These are the structures or these are the units which will undergoing into the sexual reproduction. The next, some more examples are there. That is like ginger is there, onion is there, garlic is there. How they will reproduce? Let's see here. See next, here we had talked about the roots, vegetative propagation by roots. Some examples are there which are undergoing vegetative propagation by stem. Okay, here that is by stem. What are the examples by stem? Means that it is ginger, onion, then soil. Okay. So here also there is a presence of some buds. You can see this is the bud. Okay, this bud gets detached from the main parent body, or else we can say it as the parent body. This will get detached from the parent body, and this bud, this is the bud. It will give rise to a new individual or a new plant in this way. In this way, asexual reproduction takes place in what? In the ginger. And what is this bud is known as, or that particular unit or the vegetative propagule means this is the rhizome. What I told in the last topic, ginger will undergo into the vegetative reproduction. What is the vegetative propagule of the ginger means that is the rhizome. Okay, here the rhizome is also the vegetative propagule of banana. There also in this sense sexual reproduction will take place. Banana and ginger. This is very important for 1 month. Many times they had asked what is the vegetative propagule of ginger. Then next here potato is there, turmeric is there. In turmeric also it is rhizome only. In this sense only the vegetative propagation will take place. What about the onion? Okay, onion, there also vegetative propagation will take place. There in the onion, what is the vegetative propagule means that it is the bulb. Here onion, this is also one of the underground stem. These are the roots. Okay, and this stem is modified for the storage of food. Okay, and this stem is the underground stem, just like a ginger. Okay, here this stem will have the layers. Okay, this one layer you can call it as the bulb. This bulb gets detached from the main body like this, and it will form a new plant. Okay, so what it is? Onion. In the onion it will be bulb, and in the potato it is tuber. Potato, that is the tuber. Then next one more example is there, aerial stem. We will see here by stem, that is the underground stem. One more example is there, subaerial stem or the creeping stem, what we call. Then we will go for the aerial, totally above the ground level, that is the aerial stem. Before that, this is totally underground. Subaerial means which is present, located in between the ground and the soil. So see here, subaerial stems, vegetative propagation by subaerial stems. Examples for this it is pistia. Pistia is one example. Okay, so here pistia is there, mint is there, mint leaves. Okay, mint is there, strawberry is there, where the vegetative propagation will take place by the subaerial stems. Okay, see here, one more is there, lawn grass. Lawn grass means the grass which you can see in the lawn areas or the garden areas, which will spread very rapidly. Okay, so here how how this vegetative reproduction is going to take place means, for example, this is the pistia. This is the plant that we are calling it as the pistia. And this stem, this is the roots, and these are the leaves. This part, the stem is not erect. Here, the stem is lying at the ground surface. This stem, we can call it as the subaerial stem. So this stem, a small part of the stem gets detached from the main body. This is the subaerial stem. It will get detached from the main body, and from here a new parent body is going to form. Okay, so this is taking place in Pispia. In Pispia, what is that subaerial stem which is involved in the vegetative propagation? Means it is a offset. They had given some names, some for that units. So lawn grass, in lawn grass, that subaerial stem is known as the runners. Then in mint, it is suckers. Then in strawberry, it is stolons. These are very important points. In Pispia, that subaerial stem which is undergoing into the asexual reproduction, it is known as the offset. Or Pispia. What is the vegetative propagule of Pispia? Offset. Mint, suckers. Many times they had asked about the mint, Pispia, strawberry, lawn grass. Compulsory one question or two questions will be from this vegetative propagation in your theory exam. Strawberry, stolons, lawn grass, runners. Okay. Then comes the third part of the stem or the vegetative propagation by stem. The third one is the aerial stem. Totally, the stem which is above the ground surface, that is by the aerial stems. Let's see here. In aerial stems of some of the plants, vegetative propagation is by the stem parts. One example is there. Aerial stem. One example, that is the apuntia. What it is? That is the apuntia. So here, how the apuntia plant will be? It will be like this. Here in the apuntia plant, the stem will perform the function of the leaf because they are photosynthetic. Okay, this is the apuntia plant. Okay, so here these are the stem, not leaves. What it is? This is the stem. Okay, so this stem will get detached from the main body and it is going to produce a new plant like this. Okay, and what is that stem which is undergoing into the vegetative propagation or the what is the vegetative propagule of apuntia? Means it is the phyllocytes. What it is? It is the phyllocytes. Okay, then next vegetative propagation by leaves. Here one example is there, that is the bryophylla by leaves. One example, that is the bryophylla. Bryophylla, it is a name of plant where the reproduction is going to take place by the leaf. How means? You had seen some of the leaves. On that leaves there will be small plantlets or the small bud-like structures will be there. Here I will show you. Like this it will be. On the notches of the leaf, on the surface of the leaf, there will be some notches. You can see these are the notches. Okay, from these notches, buds are going to arise like this, just like a small leaflets like this. Okay, it will be somewhat like this, and these are known as the buds. So from the leaf surface, these buds are going to detach, means they will fall down on the soil, and these buds will give rise to a new plant like this. So here what is happening? That is the vegetative propagation or the asexual reproduction taking place by the buds or the leaves. Totally it is from the leaves. Buds are arising from where? From the notches of the leaves. So that is the reason we are calling it as the vegetative propagation taking place by what? By the leaves. In which plant? That is from the one example is there, that is the bryophyllum. Okay. The next bulbil is there. Bryophyllum is there. Then sugar cane is there. There the reproduction takes place by the nodes. These are the nodes. From the nodes, some root-like structures are going to grow. These roots are going to detach from the main body, and they will give rise to a new plant body. Okay, so this is about what? This is about the vegetative propagation in the plants. Next, we will go for the next topic, that is sexual reproduction. Next, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Here, till now we had discussed about the asexual reproduction. Now we will discuss about the sexual reproduction. First of all, what is the meaning of sexual reproduction? It involves the formation of gametes. This is the first point. Second point, it involves the fusion of gametes. Formation of gametes, then fusion of gametes. See here, it involves the process of formation of gametes. And what is that gametes means? It will be male gamete and the female gamete. Male and female gamete. Then the second point, it also involves the fusion of male and female gamete. This completes the sexual reproduction, after which it will give rise to a new individual. So here, if we talk about the sexuality in organisms, here the sexual reproduction produces the gametes I am telling. These gametes, male gamete and female gamete. The term gamete means it is also known as the sex cells or else the reproductive cells. what it is also known as gametes are also known as the sex cells or the reproductive cells. Means these cells are mainly responsible for the sexual reproduction. See, and these gametes are going to produce into the sex or the gonads, what we call. Gonads means these are the organs, sex organs. In male and female, it will be differing. Okay, then here, if in some conditions what happens means, I think you know the meaning of bisexual and unisexual. Bisexual, which is also known as the monoecious. What it is also known as? It is also known as the monoecious. And unisexual, which is also known as the dioecious. Bisexual or monoecious means where the female and the male reproductive structures, female and male reproductive structures are present in single individual. Okay, that it is known as the bisexual or monoecious. Already you had studied about the bisexual in what we call in hibiscus flower. One of the example for that, it is the hibiscus flower. Unisexual or dioecious means where female and male gametes female and male reproductive structures are present in different individuals. In different individuals. That is known as the unisexual or dioecious. Okay, then here in flower, if only stamen is there, that flower we can call it as the staminate. Okay, if female flower is there which possesses only carpels or pistil, then we can call that flower as the pistillate. Okay, so all these things you had studied in algae and fungi. If this condition you have to apply means bisexual condition is known as the homothallic. Means homothallic means where there is presence of two reproductive structures. Okay, unisexual means that it represents the heterothallic. Separately, they are present in the different thallus bodies. Okay, the next here, this see reproduction will be differing in different type of organism. It will be not similar in all organisms. In some it will be asexual, in some it will be sexual. Okay, for what reason this difference or the variety you can see on this reproduction means that is due to the some external morphological characters and physiological characters. According to their body organization, they had developed or modified for that particular method of reproduction. So here all the organism, including all means all living organism, plant, animal, fungi, algae, all the organism has some phases. Okay, in this reproduction, in sexual reproduction, they have some phases. What are that? Means growth phase is there, reproductive phase is there, then third one, that is the old age or senescence phase is there. These are the three phases. These we will discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you.